Welcome back, my friends. It is May 25th, 2023, and we've got a bunch of stuff to talk about, including major earthquakes, some of which we actually predicted here on this channel. We've got a 172 mile per hour peak wind typhoon making its way towards Taiwan. If you compare that to the Atlantic Ocean and a Cat 5, that is 155 miles per hour. So this thing is exceeding even the highest level of the Saffir-Simpson scale that we use to measure wind speed with cyclones, typhoons, hurricanes, all the same thing, just depends on what part of the world they take place in. And of course, we are going to be talking about our sun and a growing sunspot that is becoming very concerning to a lot of people. We're going to talk about this one right here too, because this was actually visible from Earth with the naked eye, which is a super rare event. You definitely do not see that all the time, but it definitely took place. And it's still there, and it's still visible. We've also got another possible invest going on in the Atlantic Ocean. We're just in the last week of May, and we are already seeing the signs of hurricane season, which begins on June 1st. But what I want to do right now is talk about this earthquake that took place 9 hours ago, a 6.6 near the Panama-Colombia border region. Luckily, this thing did not cause any damage or really any significant effects to the area, but it's the point that this earthquake took place where it did. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but 2 days ago, in a video, I discussed that we are going to start seeing earthquakes of large magnitude within the Caribbean Sea and even possibly the Gulf of Mexico. In fact, I'm going to play that short clip for you right now from that video from a few days ago, just to show you I'm not making this up. And here it is. We also can't forget 4 days ago, the 6.4 near Guatemala. That was a very, very concerning earthquake because we've been seeing a lot of action in Central America, and all it would take is this little push across this thin stretch of land, and we are talking about a major earthquake in the Gulf of Mexico, or at least in the Caribbean Sea, which would eventually affect the Gulf, no doubt about it. We've seen Jamaica have huge earthquakes. In fact, I feel like they are due for one. I don't want you guys to quote me on that, but I just have this strange feeling that near Jamaica and southern Cuba is going to get hit with something pretty strong soon, especially with what's going on with our solar weather. Alright, so there you have the clip. Now the reason I brought that up is because we had an outrageous, completely active set of sunspots that was launching off M-class and X-class solar flares almost on an hourly basis. We also have this sunspot down here, which was actually visible with the naked eye. If you had a pair of those solar glasses that you used to watch eclipses from, you could easily see this sunspot on the sun itself just from standing on the ground, from basically anywhere on Earth, and that alone is rare enough. But when I talk about the earthquake taking place in the Caribbean Sea or the Gulf, I was talking about this sunspot right here, 3311. It is almost and kind of breaking up as we speak, so we might not have to be worrying about that one too much, but this right here is a different story. We have another sunspot that is growing rapidly as it approaches Earth-facing, which is just as dangerous and could produce an X-class or M-class solar flare at any time. In fact, we just recently had an M-class solar flare. As you can see on this chart right here, it happened last night between the 24th and today, and it's not going to stop there, my friends. We are in a period of high solar activity. This is not going to go away anytime soon, and it's going to be something we're going to be talking about almost on a daily basis. In fact, we're going to go to spaceweather.com, and I'm going to read this to you like I always do. This is very interesting information. Take a look at this. Yesterday, sunspot AR3315 was almost invisible. Today, it is 4 times wider than Earth. The fast-growing sunspot is reaching the surface of the sun's southern hemisphere. Its rapid development could lead to explosive instabilities and solar flares. And just to be clear on what sunspot they're talking about, that is this one right here. This thing has been growing at a crazy rate, basically came out of nowhere, and that's how the sun works. At any given time, sunspots can just start forming on the sun, and they can become a very big deal, just as sunspot 3315 is becoming right now. And that does not mean that we need to forget about all these other sunspots. These are all very much Earth-facing. If you take my cursor right now, that is basically where Earth sits as far as the equator of the sun and how we are lined up with the sun. So at any time, if any of these sunspots go off, including 3310, they will very much affect Earth, just as we've been talking about over the last 2 weeks. We have been getting completely slammed with solar winds, solar particles, and seeing large earthquakes as a result of it. Just to give you an idea of how strong the solar wind is right now, this is like some of the highest solar speed I've ever seen. We are pushing nearly 700 kilometers per second. That is the force being put on the Earth's magnetic field. Even when we hit numbers like 600 or 650, we have seen earthquakes as large as 8.0, even higher, including things like radio blackouts, internet outages. I don't know if a lot of you have been having issues with your internet lately. I have personally, but this is exactly what causes it. Our sun is a very controlling aspect as what happens on Earth. That includes weather. And very quickly, that's going to bring me to Typhoon Maywar, which is at 172 miles per hour right now, and may get even faster. We talked about this hitting 180 miles per hour, but this thing may even exceed that. Now take a look at what the forecast is right now. Look how close this thing gets to Taiwan, and then just stops dead in its tracks and starts moving back out into the Pacific Ocean, and then gets caught up in the jet stream that kind of borders Alaska and then heads towards the United States. Let's back that up one more time. I just want you to take a look at this. This is incredible stuff. We're looking at 913 millibars in pressure. That would exceed 190 mile per hour winds. We're not quite there yet, but that is what they are forecasting here on the GFS. But again, just the fact that this thing comes so close to Taiwan right there, and then boom, hooks a complete right turn and heads right back out into the ocean. Hopefully that's what happens, and we don't see Taiwan get completely destroyed by this typhoon. But nonetheless, this is a very, very interesting graphic. It is very rare to see something like this. It basically touches the coast, and then boom, this thing takes off and is gone. Also, I want to talk about this southeast situation going on. It's only a 10% chance of cyclone formation in the next 7 days, but we got to remember, we're in the month of May. We have seen hurricanes in May. I do not believe this will become a hurricane. I believe it will become a significant weather event. But remember, hurricane season starts on June 1st, and that is when we start seeing hurricanes coming from the western coast of Africa. They come down the Cape Verde Islands, and then boom, along the warm water belt into the Leeward and Lesser Antilles, and then we get to see where they go, whether that's up the East Coast or if they go into the Gulf and the Caribbean. But we've already had two different disturbances in the last 2 days based on this low pressure system that's going through the southeast of the United States. And last but not least, I just want to talk about this earthquake that took place about 20 hours ago, a 6.2 near Indonesia, 103 miles deep. Now again, I repeat this constantly. When you get deep earthquakes, specifically 100 miles or deeper, you tend to see larger, more shallow earthquakes within a certain period of time. It's usually 2 to 3 days. So once again, the Southeast Pacific is going to be on high alert for large earthquake activity, specifically because of what we are seeing forming on the sun, specifically with sunspot 3315, as we talked about earlier in the video. This thing is growing at an alarming rate. In fact, I'll leave you with this. You're going to be watching in this area right here. That is where this sunspot is beginning to form. And as this video plays, you're going to see it get bigger and bigger. This thing grows and grows and grows, and they turn into these sunspots that are capable of producing large solar flares. That is what we are concerned about. That is what we've been concerned about. And that is what we are going to continue to monitor as the day goes on and as the next few days go on. I'll give you a little freeze frame right there, and that is it right there. You're looking at it dead on. We're almost Earth facing. And again, that does not take away from the attention of these other sunspots that we have above and below the equator of the sun where the Earth sits as far as where we are lined up. All right, my friends, that is what I got for you for this morning. I know that was a lot of information packed into a short video, but it had to be talked about, especially this earthquake down in the Caribbean. We need to keep an eye on this entire area, specifically with that sunspot we were just speaking about. We're going to start seeing earthquakes in places we are not used to seeing them, and in my opinion, it's not going to stop anytime soon. All right, my friends, I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Shout out to Ken. Canada, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, family. I just wanted to share with you all the weather stuff, all the stuff that is going on in the earth, like literally with the earth, the storms, the forming storms, the temperatures of the ocean, the earthquakes, where they are, the frequency, what's going on with the sun, what is going on with the atmosphere that impacts, communications, internet, cell phone service, so on and so forth. So, I don't know why, if this is why Congress was issued satellite communications, because these things could also create a event where you lose communications, and that's something that they don't necessarily want to happen. They don't care about us, but anywho, we're not really talking about these types of things. And so I wanted to talk about them in context to biblical prophecy, is so you could just kind of see what is going on all over the earth. And this is in addition to the stuff that I shared with you the other day. Like he just shared with you the big earthquakes and these storms, but like there are earthquakes all over the earth every single day. They're not as strong as the ones that he noted. Then take a look at all the weather events going on in the ocean, and we're getting things that are happening earlier than usual. So it looks like we're gonna have a really active hurricane season, which is not good for those of us who are close to water, um, and who live below sea level. Also, it just means that things are going to be really unpredictable. Meaning, like if you're trying to grow food or you have a farm or whatever, you got to try to make contingency plans for that so you can try to preserve what you have. Because, heavens forbid, you do not want anything to happen to your vegetables if a storm comes. So, there are just a lot of different things that, like for myself, that I haven't necessarily thought about, but now I'm having to consider those because, if you're trying to grow food for, your preps, you don't want your food to be destroyed. Like this ain't a game. It's not like a hobby no more. It's like, I got to get this. I have to understand this. I need to know what I need to do. Boop to boop to boop. So, it is causing me to think differently. And so, now I even have to make some type of contingency plans because I'm off the coast of Carolina. So I need to, prepare for inclement weather, what that means if I'm going to be saturated with, rain, all my little things that I do have growing, will they be all beat up? Will they be able to make it? Like, what's going to happen? So, those are the types of things that I have to worry about. But, earthquakes. South Carolina is due for a major earthquake. The last big earthquake we had was, I think, in the 1800s. It basically flattened Charleston. But what is interesting is how, all these things are happening to places that participated in our captivity, in our scattering, if you're Yasharel. So again, just pay attention to what is happening, pay attention to what's going on in the earth, stay in your scripture because so many things are going on, so many things are happening, so many biblical prophecies are being fulfilled and are yet to be fulfilled. So we just got to keep watch. It's not for us to be fearful. It's not for us to, be concerned about. If you are a believer, you just know these things have to happen. And, we should be happy. We should be encouraged because it means that book is true, means the Bible is true. And although there are a lot of people who don't like us, who are going to hate us, who are going to, dispute the book is true, the time is coming where everybody is going to have to admit it. They're going to have to give an account, or they're just going to be like, they may curse God and just accept their fates. But, that's not for us to worry about. All we can do is pray, try to wake people up, try to get, as many people to see what's coming as possible, get them to prepare, get their lives right, get their spirits and resources together so that they can weather what's coming. So, a lot of things happening in the world. I can barely keep up with it. I'm about to go outside and do some farming before my work picks up for the day. But I just wanted to share these stories with you before I left because I felt like they were important. And I didn't bring the story about the typhoon, although it was on my radar. And I did get to make a video about it, but I just didn't get to publish it. So when I saw Into Thin Air make a video about all the things, I was like, I'm going to share this one because it covered everything that I wanted to discuss. So if you don't subscribe to Into Thin Air, I do recommend that you do. I subscribe to him, and he does awesome, really short videos about the different things that are going on the earth that nobody else is talking about. And for us, especially Yasharel, we need to know what is going on because, I hate to say our lives depend on it, but it's a way for us to stay on top of biblical prophecy, to see these scriptures come to life. It's different when you're reading about it and, you don't think you're living in that time. But now that we see what is happening, and especially now since the war in Russia has escalated. I don't know if you've been paying attention to what's been happening over there. You should go over to Canadian Prepper's site and look at his last video he put out last night. A lot of stuff is going on. So, the word is the word. It is wording, honey. It is wording. It is doing a thing. And we need to, stay on top of these stories because for me, it's just more confirmation. I get to see what the word is saying. Never in history have all these things happen at one time. And so it's really important that we take it all in. We understand the gravity of it. We understand that because we can see and we are who we are, we're chosen to see in this hour, or we have believed and conditioned and positioned ourselves to see in this hour. So, don't have any fear. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't even worry about scoffers because, there are going to be some people who pick at you and don't believe you and call you crazy. This is just the nature of our people. It's how we have been throughout, the Bible, going back to the days of Abraham and Noah. Like, it is what it is. So you're always going to have disobedient people. You're always going to have people who don't believe. You're always going to have people who want to do whatever they want to do without repentance. And we should just take those lessons. Like, nobody's going to be 100%. There are always going to be some people who are lost. So we just, we have to have some peace about that. I'll tell you this story and then I'll end the video. But I talked to my dad last night, and he just calls to check on me sometimes. Because I do spend a lot of time by myself, but he also spends a lot of time by himself because he drives back and forth. He's a truck driver, and he's not been well lately. So we talk a little more, and we talk about church, and he's getting to the point where he's ready to accept who we are. And although he kind of knew, didn't know that we were the people of the book. So I've been showing him some stuff. And we were just talking about some other things, about current events, about the things that tie up, link up to big biblical prophecy. And he was like, it's just so refreshing to be able to talk to somebody about this stuff. He said, if you talk to people about this stuff, he said they look at you like you got two heads. And I just started laughing and I said, I know, Daddy, because I, have to do the same thing. I have to hold my tongue and not talk to people, and baby spoon feed, information to folks, because you just can, discern they are not ready or they're not able to eat from your table. And so he was happy. I'm the oldest child, so he was happy that I'm awakened. He was happy that I can see, and he was glad that he could talk to me, because he doesn't. Most men don't have a whole lot of friends. They got associates. They don't have friends. But my dad is old school, so he, raised his family, took care of his family, and his wife is at home, but they don't have any children. So it's just him now. He's an older man, and so he is very reflective, and spends a lot of time alone, but he reads and tries to keep up with stuff on the internet, and I share stuff with him from time to time. But he talked about how lonely it is not being able to talk about the things that you see and the things that you can spiritually discern that other people around you cannot. And especially in our community, and he was saying some of the same stuff that a lot of the people who follow this channel, who are Yasharel, talk about as well, how our people just can't see. Like, you can't talk to them, you can't say nothing, you just cannot. And they just refuse to hear it. And not only do they refuse to hear it, they refuse to prepare. And so, what happens is, when they don't prepare, when things do happen, they get all frantic, and then they start getting on your nerves because they didn't do what they want. They did what they wanted to do when they could. And so they end up, becoming a burden or stressing you out, because they want answers, they want help, they want something from you. But when you were trying to offer it to them when times were calm, they did not receive. And so, you know, those are going to be the times where we're going to be tested, because, I got a sassy mouth. And so it's going to take everything in me not to go off on people. That's just how I am. I'm very direct, very straightforward, don't hold my tongue. Um, can't hardly fix, I don't have a poker face. I got a face. It tells everything. So I really struggle in that area. So I don't know, I'm just asking for some patience and grace when that time comes, because I'm just, I'm at my wit's end. I'm sure that's why my hair is white, because I care more about people than they care about themselves a lot of the time. But that's my calling, and I understand it, and I walk in it. So I just feel like I'm going to be rewarded on the other side, and I just continue to do what I'm supposed to do until I cannot. So what we got to do is just stay focused, stay set apart. This time too is a time to be set apart. Be thankful nobody want to be around you. Be thankful you don't, see what other people see and want to follow other people. Um, be thankful you have found your way indirectly to the narrow path, and that you are able to just discern things and see things and digest the information um, that other people cannot digest, because they just are not emotionally ready to deal with all the things that are coming. But they're going to have to deal with it, because it's coming. It's not going to stop just because they don't want to deal with it. Life is happening. And, so like, as Into Thin Air talked about with these solar flares, it reminded me of that movie, Don't Look Up. So if you haven't watched that movie, watch that movie. It is so revealing. It is so, so, so revealing. And it reminds me more and more, as I think about it, as I reflect on it, about this time, how the media will tell you to do one thing, and the masses are doing the thing that the media tells them to do. And it was only a handful of people who would believe the seers or the scientists who were saying, this meteor is coming, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. They were on TV, and the media people were laughing and doing like they do. And, you know, maybe I would say a house full of people got it, and they got together, and they at the end of the movie they prayed and they made peace with what was coming, while the rest of the world was running around. They didn't listen, and then finally, when the truth came and the meteor was just about to hit, the media people had to admit it. People were running all over the world trying to, you know, make peace and have the Last Supper and do all the things. It was chaos. That's what it was. And then, the news people were in a bar. They were having drinks and just reflecting, and you're feeling real stupid because people tried to warn them, and they had plenty of time to make peace, make preparations, do whatever they, were going to do. And they just didn't do it because they wanted to live for the day. They just didn't want to believe. They didn't want to deal with reality. And that's kind of what we are living in today. So I reflect on that movie often. I might watch it again this week just for good measure, and to reinforce, how people act in real life. Like, that movie was a reflection of what's happening now. That's how people act in real life. And so we have to give them time. But when time is up, we're going to be at peace because we are using this time now to come to terms with what's happening. And it may mean we lose family members. It may mean we lose friends. You may lose spouses. This is going to be a divisive issue. It's going to be a divisive time. But you have been chosen to be set apart. You have been chosen to see. You have been chosen to tell. You have been chosen to warn. You have been given an opportunity to repent and make peace um, with the Most High before things get out of control. So be grateful, be thankful, continue to pray, prep, seek the Most High, continue to wake up, folks. Even if they don't want to wake up, you do your part. Don't never let it be said that you did not do what you were supposed to do before you leave this earth. All right, please like this video, share it, and subscribe to the channel. Please hit the bell notification so that you can get notifications each time I upload something new. Also, subscribe to my Rumble and Odyssey channels. In the event this channel is taken down, we're being heavily censored, especially Black content creators. So please make sure you hit the bell notification and check back often to make sure you are subscribed. Consider supporting the channel. My Venmo and coffee are in the description. And also follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram and on Facebook under Marleyisms. All right, y'all. Love y'all. It's going to be all right. We're going to be all right. It's stressful, but we're going to be all right.